Welcome to Keepin' It Real, your go-to radio show for fresh insights and vibrant introductions. Get ready to dive into a world where we offer you the latest in real estate wisdom and the juiciest community tidbits. From expert advice courtesy of top realtors to opportunities to give back through local charities, we've got you covered. Plus, we'll shine a spotlight on the young athletes driving our local sports scene and uncover the buzzworthy happenings both in town and beyond. Stay tuned for a jam-packed hour of enlightenment and entertainment right here on Keepin' It Real.
Good morning to all of you out there, and welcome to our little community program, Keepin' It Real. Today, we'll be hosting a business spotlight with one of our local restaurants. We've had so many in the studio over the last couple of years, but this will be our first chance to meet with Taco Giro and Cesar Rodriguez. We'll dig into all about the restaurant, their sister restaurants, and a couple of reveals that'll be worth your wait. So stay tuned for that. You're going to want to hear it. As always, let's tune into the calendar and a few events that are coming up. First, it's all going down at Veterans Memorial Park today. It's our famous Cars in the Park. And I think this is the 37th annual, so that's crazy. 37 years of this. But rain or shine, this event is a must attend. Hundreds of cars and trucks from all eras and really from all over. They'll come together for this super fun event. Gates open for the lineup and registration at 7 a.m. this morning. The event runs until about 3. Come early, stay long. It's an all-day affair to see all the cool cars that'll appear. I don't know about you, but I've seen a number of awesome rides around town the last couple of weeks. I'm sure owners are shining them up and hitting the road to get them ready. There'll be oldies music, there'll be great food and product vendors, and of course awards. I hear there's going to be best of show, 10 different picks, and best of next gen, which is kind of a cool category edition, and cash drawings at the awards ceremony in the early afternoon, so definitely worth hanging out for. Shout out to Thunder Vet Set and Sierra Sports Car Club for their special support, and all of the wonderful sponsors of the event. The Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios right here is a proud supporter of this event. A special thanks to Larry York and team for recognizing us on their event posters. Just a couple of reminders for the big event today. No animals, no alcohol, no stereos, and no firearms. But what you can do is bring your family and friends. Enjoy loads of fun, cool cars, maybe some new friends, and of course, music, vendors, and the awards. Stick around and see your favorite car. See if they win an award. I don't know if I'll win an award, but I'll be out there with my 67 Mustang Fastback. So look for the Shelby GT350 Rent Racer in black with gold stripes. Stop by and say hello. Hope you do that. Also happening this morning in just a short while is the Lions Club in cooperation with the Salvation Army supporting Project Linus in their Make a Blanket morning. It's 9 a.m. to noon at the Salvation Army at 180 East Wilcox Drive right here in Sierra Vista. Now it's here and they need your hands. Yep, hands to make those cool no-sew blankets that'll land in the hands of children who are in hospitals, social agencies, traumatized, serious ill, or otherwise in need of a security blanket hug. Bring your whole family and teach your kids the gift of giving and community service. All ages are welcome, no experience necessary. Tie up one blanket or stay and make a few. Make a Blanket morning, 9 a.m. to noon at the Salvation Army on Wilcox Drive. Such a worthy cause and a worthwhile event. I hope you can spend just a few minutes and help them out today. Now, don't forget Tuesday is the big Red Cross Blood Drive in Tombstone, Arizona, brought to you by the Tombstone American Legion. The Legionnaires are at it once again. They're so good about putting these events together. It'll happen on Tuesday, October 14th from 1 to 6 p.m. at the American Legion Hall at 215 East Allen Street in Tombstone. So give blood and save a life. The Red Cross Blood Drive with the American Legion. 1 to 6 p.m. this coming Tuesday. Great day to give blood and then pop into the streets of Tombstone to replenish yourself with some good food and drink, or step back in time and stroll around town. You can always find fun in Tombstone. Coming soon is the huge Relay for Life celebration. The theme this year is the Pirates of the Caribbean. Little play on words there. The big event is only a couple of weeks down the road, so it's coming up fast. It'll take place on Saturday, October 25th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Veterans Memorial Park. I won't steal their thunder, but we'll share some of the time with them next week on the show to hear the inside scoop of the event. So tune in for that again. This is Pirates of the Caribbean Relay for Life right there at Veterans Memorial Park, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. on October 25th. That's a Saturday. And sharing the show next week, we'll also be hearing from Brandon Sharp again. Although it's not his day job, Brandon is a big event sponsor, helping numerous charities around the wonderful community. He's just a great citizen who saw a void and has tried to fill it, sponsoring events all year long for many of our important nonprofits. Brandon will be with us next week to discuss Bike Night and Veteran Food Drive at Doc's Watering Hole on Saturday, October 18th. So put that on your calendar. It's from 4 to 8 p.m. You can ride in, hang out, and show your support while enjoying good food and drink. Check out the bikes and vendors at the event or get in on a raffle. And by the way, he's collecting non-perishable food donations to support local veterans. So bring that with you. Again, Brandon's Bike Night and Veteran Food Drive at Doc's Watering Hole on Saturday, October 18th from 4 to 8 p.m. Listen in next week and hear all about it. And not long after, it's the third annual Pups on Parade at Doc's Watering Hole on Saturday, November 15th from 11 to 2 p.m. It benefits the local nonprofit Friends of the SV Animal Shelter to help pay for all those great spay and neuter programs and all the clinics, emergency medical, and those cool animal-related events that y'all come to. We team up with the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center and our friends with the Sierra Vista Police Department to help put on this event. It's a super fun dog show with a twist, and that twist is the fact that none of the dogs are really show dogs. They are shelter dogs waiting for their forever home, and we take 10 dogs from the shelter for the show, and they get to spend the day with us, strutting their stuff to the crowd for ribbons and fun awards, and most importantly, the opportunity to show how awesome they are. You know, dogs don't act the same once you get them out of the kennel and around the crowd. It's a great way to see them stretch their legs and maybe find a foster family for a new home. We raise funds for the animals even before the event starts, and we do that through sponsors. So businesses, families, anybody can get in on it. We ask for sponsors so that we can take care of all their health needs, get them spayed and neutered, microchipped, and more. Even the adoption fee is covered, giving them the best chance for a possible smooth adoption. Last year, we really stunned even our organization when we found out not only the sponsors for the show dogs, but we also found sponsors for all the dogs at the shelter, which was awesome. Every single one. It was awesome, and we hope to do that same thing again this year. Folks, it's just $300 to sponsor a show dog, and there's only 10 of them, so do it fast. Or $150 for one of the dogs that got left behind the shelter, and it is full. We put their photos up with your name or the name of your business to honor your gift, and the Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter helps cover the rest of the expenses. So we even have a silent auction for numerous local baskets of goodies and great stuff at the event. There's fun, there's dogs, plenty of dog kisses and hugs as you meet up with the pups close and personal, and you can meet your local animal control officers there as well. Enjoy music, food, beverages, and the show, and even make an adoption yourself. It's a great time for a great local cause, and these pups need you. The shelter is full, like I said, so please come out and see them. The show is 100% free and open to the public. It's a family affair, so bring your kids, your family, your friends, and at least come watch, even if you can't donate. Just have fun. Your participation is gratefully accepted, and you'll get to even vote on your favorite shelter dog. They go home with ribbons, medals, and fun of being out for the day, sometimes an adoptable home, which is all what we're rooting for. So come down and join us this year at the third annual Pups on Parade at Doc's Watering Hole, brought to you by Doc's Watering Hole and Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, Saturday, November 15th from 11 to 2 p.m. Come see what everybody's talking about. And if you can, donate an item for an auction, come bid on something at the event, or sponsor a dog or all of the above. And who knows, maybe you'll even find a new best friend there. For more information or to sponsor a pet, please call Sherry at 717-599-2439. 717-599-2439. Okay, let's get today's guest in the studio, and let's get started. This is Keepin' It Real at the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. Stay close to your radio, folks. We'll be right back.
In a town with heart and history, the Sherry Ethell Team is the key. Serving Sierra Vista, we agree. For military law and retirees, stress-free process you will see. Personal care is our guarantee. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team, we never halt. Real experts here to guide your way, making dreams come true every single day. Trusted team that knows just what to do. The Sherry Ethell Team, working for you. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team is your one and only call.
All right, good morning and welcome to Keepin' It Real. Keepin' It Real brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. I am joined in the studio today with one guest and one co-host.
I don't know.
I might just call you a co-host because
Right?
you do a lot of these with me, Lisa. So I've got Lisa Gustafson. She's the account manager over there at CoolFM and Canyon Country. And so she's here with me today and going to help me lead this conversation. And then I've got Cesar Rodriguez, and he is the manager of ops for Taco Giro.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
For our chain. Yes. That's
For the
right.
chain. And
Yes.
and we're going to talk way more about that, and we'll kind of dive into there. But before we even get there, we kind of want to start off with you and get to know the person behind it, because
Sure.
I've seen you over there, but from time to time, we just kind of want to get to know who's in our community.
Sure.
And tell a little about yourself and where you come from. And
So I come from, actually, I was born and raised Southern Cal, SoCal, and from there I attended college, and then I started the retail business back in 95, 96. And I worked for Kmart, and then I did Kohl's and several other departments. And so I was a district manager, general manager, worked my way up the chain. And then an opportunity came out here in 2019, Taco Giro, to kind of understand their operations. So I ran the location here in Sierra Vista for a couple of years. And then about 2 years after, we started growing. And then I went into the position that I currently am. And I currently operate all of the operations for all 10 locations. So when I first started, we had 4. And here we are in 2025 with 10.
Okay.
And growing.
And we'll definitely talk a lot more about that stuff. So what do you do in your free time? Do you have free time?
Well, no,
I mean, 10
with
restaurants, that's a lot.
You know, in the past, in the free time, when I was managing locally, I'm a big golfer.
Golfer?
Yes, big golfer.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
Football, and then baseball is really big right now. Right now with the October Hunt.
Yeah.
That's really huge. So yeah, big. Just a sports fan, and also play the sport as just golf when I get the chance. So.
And Lisa, feel free to dive in here anywhere.
I will.
So
This is how much we enjoy Cesar. If you've ever been to Taco Giro, you know Cesar, right?
Yeah.
He is an absolute staple in our community and walks around, talks to everybody, and we just absolutely love having him here. Him and I have truly developed a good friendship, especially with me and him and Mike, and we just always look forward to hanging out with him, even outside of work. We tend to do a lot of good things together.
Yeah, it's been a good part of that when getting to know the community, and you get to know people personally, and I've met some good friends from that. Being part of the community has always been important for me as well. But meeting new friends on the way, it's always a definite benefit. So.
Well, we love that about this community. You know, It's pretty tight knit. It's grown a lot over the years, but it's not so big that you don't see your friends at the grocery store, and you tend to have these broad circles of friends, and all the restaurants and the restaurant owners and all these great things and the managers there, and just that's a good feeling, having that community feel.
It is when you get to know people that personal, and when they see you out there and they know you.
Yeah.
Not all the time do you remember them.
Yeah.
But when they hit you up at the restaurants or other restaurants, they kind of tease you and say, "Hey, what are you doing over here? You're supposed to be over at Taco Giro."
Yeah. That's true.
But yes, it's really nice, which really says a lot to me personally, because it just shows that I'm personable and very obviously passionate about the community as well. So.
Well, we love a familiar face, right?
Yeah.
Even if you don't know each other all that well, it's just a good feeling to come into a place and see a familiar face.
Absolutely.
And so that's one of the things that always makes you feel good at Taco Giro. You see a lot of same faces.
You do.
And same personalities. And so, I don't know, it just feels hometown.
It is. It is. Absolutely.
Love that.
Totally agree.
Well, let the questions begin here.
Sure.
Right? So I kind of want to know about, you kind of unsealed the box there with the number of, with the number of restaurants that they now have. So when you joined them, there was 4 of them.
4, yes.
And where did they start at?
So when we started in 2008, our first restaurant was 22nd and Craycroft.
Okay.
And so
Tucson.
Tucson, correct. And so at that point, the founder, if you will, moved out to Sierra Vista, kind of checked out the location and saw some opportunities, and saw this opportunity here that we're currently at, and took it and brought the brand to us as well here, and it's been really nice. So then from here we expanded out to Casa Grande, we expanded out to Vail, and then we expanded out to Green Valley, and then we expanded out to Apache Junction.
Oh, wow.
So we added 4 in the meanwhile. With the one that was there in 2008, we added another 3. So we have 4 currently in Tucson. And then the remote areas we've added throughout the years. So.
And are they all called Taco Hero?
They're all Taco Hero, except for one that we have a sister, I call it sister restaurant, which is Taco Machi. Taco Machi is part of the family.
I had heard that you guys were connected recently. Yes. I think I heard it from you, Lisa.
People may not know that. Yeah. So
Taco Machi was kind of a pilot program that we decided to roll out. Worked out really well because the sushi concept of fusion, if you will, has really exploded here, and it's done really well for us.
It's kind of interesting when Taco Machi came around. So when I was working in law enforcement, I served some time in Laredo, Texas, and they have a couple of restaurants that are very similar in nature. And I thought, wow, that's weird, this mixture of the infusion of these two kinds of food ideas, but it was really great. We spent a lot of time there,
right,
and it was kind of cool. To see
it's just pretty simple. It's a Japanese, sushi in. With Mexican ingredients inside the sushi.
And it works. It works. I absolutely love, both places, but.
Yeah.
So if you haven't tried that already, you should go over and try it, just because it's kind of a unique thing.
It is.
And we always loved it when we were in Laredo, and so it was, great that it popped up here.
Yeah.
Hope you have a lot of success with that.
Yeah, so far it's been good. It's pretty good in the sense of what the community responding to it, but it's been good. Yeah.
And for those people who don't know where it's at, that one's kind of tucked away a little bit.
It is right next to Midas, in between Midas and the Speedway, I believe.
Front Boulevard.
Right.
Boulevard, yes.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Yeah. Is there any plans to, with all the tacoitos, is there any plan to expand Taco Machi?
Taco Machi, yes. There's actually one in the works, probably in Tucson.
Okay.
We like to grow in Tucson.
Try it out.
Though that concept or the kind of food is very competitive there in Tucson, because there's a lot of sushi places.
Yeah, there really is.
So it's all based on location.
Yeah, there's a lot of sushi, a lot of poke.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's just a lot of stuff.
Right, and everything right now is so high with rentals and all that stuff. It's just plays in the mix too as well. So.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Now going back to Taco Hero, you guys have a huge menu.
We do.
Is it that big everywhere?
It's the menu is consistent across the board. So it's every restaurant you see, it's the same restaurant.
Same stuff.
Except recently we just did one location. I just visited last night in Casa Grande. They added, the family member there added a mole.
Added more.
Added just a couple pages. Took a couple.
Took the book.
Took the low sellers out. And added a couple items like added mole and an enchilada mole. So some good stuff he added on there, and I think it'll work well there in that market. But mole is a little different, obviously.
It is definitely different. You either love it or you don't.
Right. And the response I got yesterday, talking to the ones that I've ordered it, they were surprised. It was good. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
See how that one works out.
Yes.
Your big menu and everything, very colorful.
Yes.
And always makes me hungry looking at it, because it's a lot of, if you haven't already seen it, there's a lot of photography in there, a lot of pictures and stuff. And so, it's not drawings or anything. It's actual pictures of the meals. So it makes it a little tough to even figure out what I'm going to eat. And I always end up going back to my same thing.
Don't we all do that?
I don't know why.
I get teased. They tease me all the time. Mike says, and Cesar says, "Why do you open the menu? You come here so often." I don't know why you have to feel the need to open the menu every single time. And I said, because I want to still look at the photos.
Yeah.
And I go back to my original thing.
We eat there quite a bit, and it was funny. The last time I was in there too, she was like, "You're just going to order the same thing, right?"
Okay, so I'm not the only one that does it. Okay.
I'm so bad, because I look at everything. I'm like,
No.
You'll
have
get
the same.
You will
thing.
get once in a blue moon. You get a regular. They'll go in there and say, "Well, I'm going to go out of the box. I'm going to try this today, and it better be good." And then they say, "I should have tried this a long time ago. Why didn't I do this a long time ago?"
What is the one the shrimp, the green?
The caliche, yeah. the
Caliche.
yes.
Yeah.
Have you tried this?
That's pretty good.
Now,
yeah.
I'll be honest. My menu item is the carne asada burrito mojado. And I love that. And I love it. And it's so good that it's hard to go back. And they're so big.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of places these days that have just shrunk their items to the point that it's you're trying to figure out, is this really worth my time coming in for it or not?
Right.
But Taco Giro, never.
It's one of the things I could say that the Taco Giro stand for is that the portioning has always been consistent.
Yeah.
And in all the 10 locations that I go to, it's consistent. And it's never been different in any specific location. It's always been
Well, don't change that because I don't want to go anywhere.
No.
Because we got to come in and try something different at some point.
At some point. All right, so let's take a quick break here and come right back. I want to talk to you more about what it's like running this big organization, and we'll be right back, folks.
Discover excellence in real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, your premier choice in Cochise County. Sherry's amazing team brings honesty, expertise, and a deep understanding of the local market. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned homeowner, they're committed to your peace of mind and handle every detail for you.
Their approach? Personalized service, above and beyond transactional real estate, building lifelong relationships, nationwide connections, local expertise. There's a reason this team is amongst the top realtors in Arizona and across the nation.
You owe it to yourself to call or visit the Sherry Ethell Team, the top team at Long Realty, behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more info. Real integrity, real results.
All right, welcome back to Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell. I'm your host today, and I'm co-hosting with the lovely Lisa Gustafson, CoolFM and Canyon Country. And so she is asking questions here, and I'm asking questions, and Cesar Rodriguez is delivering here, telling us all about the food industry and Taco Giro. But we were also talking a little bit about Taco Machi because they are associated with them as well. Now, I got to ask you, with 10 restaurants, how often do you get to go to each one of these now that you're in charge of so many?
I try to visit each location twice a month based on, it's on the location. There's a couple that need weekly attention just because of their volume.
Yeah.
And they're either personnel issue or whatever the status is in that location. But for the most part, most locations are visited twice a month.
Okay.
So a lot of travel, of course.
Yeah. I was going to say you're probably on the road probably more than anything.
I am.
Just driving back and forth all the time.
Well, there's a couple. I probably stay a couple nights out of the week.
Yeah.
Away from home. So.
Gosh, every week?
Every week, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's always interesting to hear people's schedules and what they do for work and what they sacrifice, from family time and other things.
And luckily, this is because we're just a small region in the state. So I mean, the furthest the drive would be Apache Junction.
Yeah, that'd be a bummer if you were in Flagstaff.
Yeah, yes. Right. And they're thinking about it too.
Oh gosh, you'd be popular up there. Yeah,
I mean, absolutely.
Wow. And here we are driving 7 minutes every day.
So and in my old line of work, I think the closest I ever was here, really, and it was about 40 minutes or so to work every day. And sometimes I actually lived in Buckeye and traveled to Yuma and Welton every day, which was about 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then I also worked for a while down in Tucson, which was about 2.5 hour drive each way. So it makes for long days.
Yeah,
thank you.
Mondays are the dreading ones because obviously it's a long day.
Yeah.
And yes, because it usually takes about 3.5 hours, sometimes 4 because traffic always, but yeah.
So walk me through what your day looks like on an average day when you're going to visit a restaurant. Let's say you're coming to Sierra Vista, you're going to be talking with the folks at Taco Giro. Like, what do you do? What do you get here early?
So the main focus for me and what the family has put on me is focusing on the customer service. We had, initially when we had our first several restaurants, we had so many opportunities. and I could say we probably still do based on the culture. And because of the service, we've had to make some big changes. So my first thing is what I do is normally observe the staff, what we're doing. If there's, I call it a flow for me.
Okay.
If we've got some kind of flow going, and if flow is going well, from the front to the ordering, to the waitress, to the kitchen, to them cooking the items and then putting up on the counters for them to be taken out to the customer. So there's a flow. If the flow is going very well, that means that we're operating well. We got a good team. People are working together. People are helping each other out. So for me, it's usually the service as I observe the staff. And then from there, obviously, there's a checklist that was adopted to me. And I do the checklist, which all involves from food handling to preparation of the food to inspecting the back kitchen, absolutely, and making sure that we procedures are being followed, but the main focus is the service, because we've had such a big opportunity in that. Every location has huge opportunities as based on the families.
Now, did this start off, you mentioned family, did this start off as a single family business at one time?
It started off with one family member who was my boss, a founder, if you want to kind of call him the founder.
Sure.
And then started getting his brothers in. There's a total of 8 in the family.
Oh, wow. Big family.
Big family. So out of the 8, 6 are involved.
Okay.
In the restaurant, and actually the 6th one involved with produce and
so I got to ask you, and I'm not putting you on a spot here, but is it challenging?
Keeping it real.
6 people, exactly right. With 6 people involved in the business and everything, it's got 6 different personalities.
Right.
Is that challenging?
Right?
It is. It's a great question, because that is the one thing that I do mention to people. They're like, okay, well, who do you report to? I said, well, I report to 7 people.
It's
because
crazy.
it is, because everyone owns a restaurant,
right?
Some multiple restaurants, but at the end of the day, I still report. The one I really report to is the founder, because he's the one that has championed this journey and this mission on extending more out to the to areas of adding taquito. So. But still, I have to report to them, and every operational thing. Everyone runs different. Every brother runs different, and the sisters, the supporter.
So brothers versus sisters, which one is easier?
Yeah.
Well, there's only one sister.
Only one sister.
Yeah.
So that's
one sister that,
okay.
And I, sometimes I actually do. I mean, I feel bad for her, because she's the one that's got to put up with all the brothers. But she does a great job. She's an awesome person, and she really keeps it real, and I like really working with them. So how they have expanded and the way they've done it, very professional and with the smart way. So yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If we, in thinking about dealing with all of those people, you were talking about service, and I think one of the things we demand here in our community is great customer service, right? You have done an amazing job of finding I would say, in the past year or so, the best staff. So hands down, when you find a restaurant where the servers have stayed and continue to stay, and you keep seeing the same friendly face, they're staying for a reason too.
True.
And I just think, how difficult was that to get to that point? Because you've really done a great job.
A lot of that is obviously coaching, training, developing people, and that's where it starts from me, and then it cascades down to the general manager. And my past leadership, skills that I've been in. Basically, it starts from the interview process, because once you're committed to that person and you hire them, you're done. So whatever comes with the package, that's what you're going to deal with. You know? So really, when it comes down to good people, it starts from interviewing.
Is it tough? I know I've had, of course, a lot of restaurant owners and business owners alike in the chairs you're sitting in here, and a lot of them say, man, it's tough to keep people employed.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't want to work as hard as maybe they used to. Right. Are you finding any of that? Or?
It really comes down to who is leading that building.
I like it.
When I and I'm not tooting my own horn, but in my past, I've had numerous staff in stores, and I've, very seldom did I ever had a few. Maybe if I was in a metro area, because where I've lived, those were challenging. But for instance, here, when I came to run the restaurant here, I had no turnover, very little. I think maybe 1 or 2 out of the year, but they moved.
Yeah, it's because they're moving.
They're moving, or they went to college, or they went to the military. So, or if you've had to let people go because of performing. So that aspect, I mean, I've never had issues, and we still today don't have that many issues, especially at this location. We have turned some people because they've moved on, obviously, but not because either the staff or the leadership there is currently,
struggling or anything. Yeah,
correct.
And I think it's so cool that when you go in there, if you do see a new face, he's like, oh, this is so-and-so's son or daughter, or everybody knows everybody, and there's such a great connection.
Right.
And
they seem to work well. The flow is very good.
They really do, because they're busy all the time.
Yeah.
The biggest, the question I always get asked when I go to different locations, and waitresses always do this: what's your favorite restaurant?
Right. What is your favorite restaurant?
All of them.
No,
they're all of them.
Yeah, it's a good answer.
They're all of them.
That's what we want to hear.
No, they all. I mean, they all have great staff. Of course, there are some that have some opportunities. We have one or two that, but still, at the end of the day, they're good staff.
So I got to ask, and I'm going to ask Lisa this. Oh, yeah. So when you go into a restaurant, what are you looking for? What's the one thing that turns you on or off coming into the restaurant or sitting down to dinner?
Mike and I are total foodies, and I will tell you this right off the bat: consistency. You can have the nicest people in the world, but if your food isn't consistently the same size or the same, doesn't taste the same, we're turned off from it. But for me, consistency in the food. Mm-hmm. And when I walk in, listen, I love that I walk in there and they say, hey, Lisa, how are you today?
Yeah.
That makes a difference to people. Not that I'm any different than you or anyone else out on the streets, but it makes you feel special.
It's funny that you say that because I'm a little opposite of that. Coming from the law enforcement, client clothes personality,
sure, absolutely.
Right? And I always thought of like the waitress or you waiter, as, hey, look, you're here to serve my food. Make sure it gets here to me on time.
Goodness.
You have a mission,
you're tough.
and you get your mission done. I'm gonna eat it. That's my mission here. Stick to your own.
Right. Yeah.
But Sherry, she wants to know everybody, and I'll go to the bathroom. I'll come out and such and such over here. She's having a baby and she's and you're like, what?
Whoa,
you're like,
what did I miss? Right?
I'm like, too much. Overload.
That's a lot. But we go in. We love to go to a restaurant. I love to sit down. Okay, say hi, right?
Yeah.
But here's the other kicker. Everybody needs to know this, and they've all handled it great. If I sit down and you're already bringing me what I like to drink.
That.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, and
your
so
tip just went up another 20%, right? Like
I don't know why I drink a lot when I'm eating, and not alcohol necessarily. Could be, but I'm just saying anything,
there.
Even soda, right? I'm a soda-holic. I like a Coke, so a good Coca-Cola is great. But if my glass is empty and I'm waiting and waiting, I'm losing my patience a little bit.
And it's so strange, but those are deal breakers.
But that never happens there.
No, it doesn't.
Never.
And those are major deal breakers.
And the speed of your restaurant, you must have the flow right, because it looks very busy when I walk in. It's one of the few restaurants here in town where I can walk in and it's packed, and I'm not like kind of going, oh man, it's going to be forever. No, everything gets to you quickly.
And
I'm
it's
seated
be hot.
in minutes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is one thing I can say that we really operate very well is that kind of flow. When in this town, people want to come and eat and go.
Yeah.
When lunchtime, they have 30 minutes, they're done. Are we perfect every day? No, but there are times where, I would say 90% of the time, if you want, but the flow goes very well, and people are in and they're out.
Yeah.
There's hardly a big wait. Obviously when we have big events, Mother's Day or Father's Day, but other than that, it does very well. And those tables turn probably 15 to 20 times a day.
All right.
Easy.
I saw Lisa look at me here. Let's take a quick break. We got a break, and we'll come right back with more juicy tidbits from Taco Giro and Cesar Rodriguez. We'll be right back, folks.
We're the real wayfinders, the trailblazers, the go-getters. In a town where the desert wakes before dawn, we don't just talk, we make things happen. And when we speak, It's real, it's genuine, and it's worth hearing. Tune in every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on Cool 104.1 FM. Join the Sherry Ethell Team for Keepin' It Real, where top realtors, local heroes, and the heartbeat of our community come together. Raw, authentic conversations, expert market insights, and the best local events you can't afford to miss. Keepin' It Real, celebrating our community. Bold, genuine, one of a kind.
Welcome back this Saturday morning on Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell, and I'm co-hosted with Lisa Gustafson. So welcome to the show, and thank you for doing this and sitting in on this with us. And I've got Cesar Rodriguez. He's the operations manager for the Taco Giro chain. And we're talking about Taco Giro and Taco Machi and talking about, what it's like to run big business like that and still keep the hometown feel. So I think before we left, I know that Lisa was jumping a bit to ask a question.
I was. Well, I noticed, because we were talking about Father's Day and how, sometimes you're much busier during holidays and things of that nature. And we were there on Father's Day, and it was still fabulous. But here's what I noticed some people didn't like to do. Sit outside, right?
Right.
So tell me, what is going on? Is something happened with the remodeling on the patio?
Yes. So we, the family decided to expand out in the sense of enclosing partial of the patio.
Okay.
But we are going to keep it still real in the sense of the openness, having the folded windows, so that during the good times or weather time is good, they can just simply open the windows in a very folding manner. I guess is what.
So it'll be a little more enclosed.
Yes, so that it'd be tempered, and so during the winter time we can close the windows. We'll have some mini splits that will be installed, so that'll be for
nice and cool.
Heat and for the cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And also so we keep the flies out of the way. I think that's probably the biggest complaint we get out there. But though we don't have control of outside, it's like if you were at a home, you have a patio, and people go eat outside, you're running into a problem in there.
It happens here.
It's challenging here.
It's
honestly,
so
there's a lot of
places
that have a little patio, but those are probably the most challenging areas.
The flies have always, every year,
they're a problem.
Yes.
Especially this time of the year, it seems like, right before the big freeze, kills them all off, then they seem like to be pretty prevalent.
Right. And then doing this is but a perfect timing, because obviously we, as competition grows, here we don't want to turn people away based on the environment, if you will.
No negatives and stuff.
Yes, right.
So I have another question, if I may. My whole remodeling thing, I heard a rumor, and I was wondering if you want to help me out with that.
Yeah, sure.
There's a restaurant, the old 50s diner out on Highway 92.
Yeah.
Yeah, the for sale signs.
Well, she has some great resources.
I heard that you guys may have had something to do with that.
Yeah, so the family went in and bought the location back in about a month and a half ago. Yeah. So they remodeling currently inside. The idea is to kind of have a brunch, if you will, kind of a first watch restaurant type of concept. Bring it down here and not necessarily the first watch, but the concept.
Yeah, so this is just breakfast and lunch,
right? Yeah. And it would be open from like 6 to 3.
Okay.
So
will it keep the same food? Like, is it still going to be Mexican?
No, it's going to be completely.
You guys are going completely different.
Yes.
Wow.
So does that present some challenges that, in terms of the logistics? Because I imagine when you're ordering food and everything, you're using a lot of the same vendors. Does that present new challenges for you to have a different menu?
They're already making the menu up now. I think it should be finalized here in the next couple of weeks, because they want, their goal is to open by November.
Okay.
The first week of November. We've had it for a couple months now, so they plan on wanting to open this on November. So the menus already have been, they've been discussed, because I was actually in one of the meetings that they had what they were going to do in the sense of what they want to put on the menu. So it is going to be a variety of good stuff. Obviously, I think that will bring something different
Do we know yet what the like the price point's going to be? Is it $2 signs, $3 signs? Is it
it'll
more
be
of a fine dining or lesser?
It's a little too early to tell what they're going to go with price range, but I would assume if I had to bet, they would probably keep it where it's
comparable.
Reasonable. Yes, comparable.
Like what you guys are doing now.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, because you think about it with Tacoito. We've only raised the prices, I think, since I've been on board. I've been almost 5 years, maybe twice. Yeah. And that was, remember, during COVID, we kept the prices. And after COVID, we raised it once, and I think just recently we raised it again. But nothing's drastic.
Yeah,
nothing big. In talking about, I just got myself thinking about challenges and everything. What's your biggest challenge with the restaurants and the business? I know we've had a lot of people in the same chair talking about that. What for you guys is the greatest challenge?
I think that if I were to really lay it out, our biggest challenge is really satisfying every palate, is what I always say.
Oh, okay.
Because, probably once or twice a day, I'll get somebody will say, oh, I really didn't like this. It didn't taste good. So I mean, that's probably our biggest opportunities. We'll get one, but you're never going to satisfy thousands of people that come into your building every day. Every pallet's different is the way I say it. Yeah. The classic one I love is when the couples come in and they eat the salsa. Uh-huh. The wife says it's too hot. The husband says it's not.
Yep. The hot one goes to me and the other one goes to Sherry.
Right. So I mean, you can't you can't please them both. So at least with that, you have the remedy to just put a lime and squeeze it so you can mix it up and it takes down the heat. But anyway, so that's probably the challenge for us. I mean, and the service and some of the locations. We have some service opportunities when you asked me in the beginning, what is my mission and stuff, and that's one of the biggest things is the service, to change the culture and to change the environment as well. So we have, some opportunities as well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, you've definitely hit on some good systems there, obviously, because, everybody's friendly. You can tell that you guys are trying to connect on multiple levels because, for the people like Lisa who really need the really smile on their face at the beginning, I maybe don't need that as much. But I need my Coke refilled.
Smile at me while you're refilling his Coke.
Yeah, and they seem to understand. And I think I don't know if you guys teach this, but it seems like you've got some good studies, at least to human nature and what they need individually. Seems like, because some restaurants too, they will have like people who run out stuff to the table, and it's almost like they're so disconnected sometimes with what else is going on. Sure. If they're the ones who are always helping you get your Coke refill or whatever, they might not see that you need that.
Right. And, I can say that this particular staff here in Sierra Vista, they're so tuned in on what's going on.
I would agree with that.
I start talking to them, they're not even paying attention to me because they're so focused on their customers. I think that just speaks volumes because they're focused. They're making sure that, every table that they have, well, on average, we usually have 4 waitresses. So every waitress has 4 tables. Okay. We don't overextend that because then the service becomes vulnerable, and then
I like that
sense. So we keep it where they have 3 tables so that there's attention given to those customers.
It helps kind of speed along the process when you got that attentive work going. You're not waiting a long time for your food there at all, and so you're in there, you got your food, and I don't know, it feels great because you got your meal, you've had that time, I guess, that you need at the table. Right. Whereas sometimes if you're like sitting there for hours, you're lingering, and nobody wants someone to linger. That can kind of be a bad experience. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it can't.
Or it gobbles up time.
Absolutely.
You can get another customer in there.
Absolutely. And, we have to be really careful because, obviously our customer base obviously ranges in different ages. We have locations that are snowbird areas, very heavy. And the older, mature people obviously are more wanting tentative attention, or they want a lot of attention. And so if you miss,
is that right? So older people tend to want more
absolutely.
attentiveness.
Yes, absolutely.
It was mature.
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 Okay.
Well, you think about it. We have 3 locations that are really snowbirds. So we have the Casa Grande, Apache Junction.
That's true.
And we have Green Valley, which is the heaven of the.
Right.
That is the ultimate
that is
one
heaven
there.
right there. Yeah, it's the hub of. But but they it's I've noticed that in this field or this environment and in the line of work, compared to retail that I've been for the last 25 years or 4, it's a different beast. And because it's food, you're involving food, people want to come and eat, they want to enjoy the time. Where versus a retail, they just come in the shop and they don't care. If you can go in a store that's all messed up and sloppy, and that's okay. They're just on a mission. They're not going to eat anything. But it's 2 different beasts for sure. And
that's interesting.
Yes, it's a really with here it's all about attention and detail. So for sure, especially when it comes to the mature.
Well, the young people should be listening to the show right now and thinking about that, because that respect and that nurturing that you do for your clientele, you'll get a great experience. Yeah. So some young person who's listening now, they ought to try out Taco Giro and see what it's all about. Because that
we do not discriminate against the young
that
people.
Experience is something,
No, but
so that's great.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, okay, let's take one last break here in the show, and I got some other questions. I'm sure Lisa's got a couple to come back at you, and we'll be right back, folks, with Keepin' It Real, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios.
Do uneasy markets have you waiting for the ideal moment to make home ownership a reality? Your answer lies in a conversation with Sherry Ethell and her exceptional team at Long Realty, a name synonymous with trust and reliability in Arizona's real estate landscape.
Hi, I'm Sherry Ethell, Realtor and Team CEO of the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. Your ideal moment has arrived. We tailor our approach to you and your needs and goals. Let us put our extensive network to work for you and take the stress out of the process.
Whether buying or selling, remember the name Sherry Ethell and the Sherry Ethell Team. Visit the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more information. Real integrity, real results.
All right, welcome back to Keepin' It Real. Welcome to Saturday morning with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. I'm sitting here with Lisa Gustafson, my co-host today. We're talking to Cesar Rodriguez. He's from Taco Giro and the operations manager for the whole chain, 10 stores. We've been talking about a variety of different subjects, so I'm just going to throw it out there. What is Taco Giro? What is Giro?
So Giro, a lot of people have misunderstanding of what the Giro is. Giro is the color of the feather of the rooster. So the rooster obviously is our mascot.
Right, I see it everywhere in your restaurant.
So when the founder decided to name, because they're rooster fans, obviously, they decided to add the Ito with Taco Ito. That's where the name came from, Taco Ito.
Who knew?
So and all the brothers are rooster fans, obviously, and so the rooster is
it's prominent all through the restaurant, and I wondered about that if there was something connected to that.
Yeah, so basically all it is I would say the Mexican dictionary, because people have said to me, well, I looked it up. It's not
Google
what it said.
says.
Right. Google tells me this. Well, it's in the Mexican dictionary that Ito is the color of the feathers of the rooster.
Very cool.
Yeah, so
It's very interesting.
yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, who knew?
A lot of people ask, and they say, we thought you guys sold gyros or gyros or whatever.
When I first saw it, honestly, I thought, is this like Mexican or is this Greek?
Yeah.
What is this? Is it Mexican food in pockets or something? And I was like, oh, man, I don't want that. So honestly, I mean, you lost me for a short while, but because I was like, oh, yeah, I don't want those pocket sandwich things. So I was like,
Yeah, no.
But I was quite surprised when I came in. And it has the, like we talked about your menu before, but it's got that authentic Mexican kind of feel to it, that look.
And we just updated
it's
some
just good.
menus. We're coming out with new plates, and the whole design of the menu looks very, very good. Really did a great job professionally when they did the pictures and stuff. So,
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's the most popular item on your menu?
well, there's you got to remember you got
Kinda
seafood
curious.
and you got the Mexican. For the Mexican food, it's always the molcajetes for sure.
Molcajetes.
Molcajetes are really big, and the number one item that gets sold when it comes to combinations is going to be the enchilada plates.
Oh, yeah.
For whatever reason.
Right.
Cheese enchilada, chicken enchilada.
Right.
They just love the enchiladas. And they like the green sauce. So it's
That green
sweet.
sauce
Yeah.
is-
It's
Verde.
another
You
one.
got to go
Telling you.
Verde. Yeah.
You got to try it. I've never had it, and I think you suggested it to us one
Oh,
night. It's
yeah.
like, try something new. We would always get the same exact thing. And
Mike
then
tried that.
Mike
Mike
did,
tried,
and
yes.
even went home and tried to make it, and he was like, let's go out to
Yeah.
eat.
It's
not
got
like
a
your
lot of
typical
mixture of
green.
ingredients.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I couldn't even
caliche.
tell
Doesn't
you.
it have like
It's got
chiles?
the
and-
chiles. It's got the cream, the white cream.
White
It's
cream,
all
yeah.
kinds of stuff in there.
It's like a creamy green sauce.
It's
amazing.
creamier. Yeah, it's a little
For
creamier.
sure. But there's seafood too.
Not that the other kind isn't good, but
Right,
it's a
different.
nice switch. You get the red sauce you kind of get almost everywhere.
Okay.
And if you find a place that can really do a good green sauce, then it's
Yeah.
like,
Right.
man, it's a place to stick to.
right.
And what about the seafood?
The seafood, a lot of people, they just the seafood is really good. I will say this, and the number one item that always, for every location, is the ceviche. That's
doesn't
just
love
the
ceviche?
number one
Right.
item that we sell.
Yeah.
Either it's to go, it's either to pick up or to eat there. The ceviche is really, and they give you an abundance of the ceviche, so you have plenty of ceviche to eat.
Is that add any complications there? You have so many different seafood items there.
Right.
Does that add some complication? I mean, it's not like we're at the beach.
No, and I really, honestly, transparency here. I've not had one for the 5 years I've been here.
Yeah.
An illness or anyone.
Yeah.
When it comes down because of the location.
Because sometimes I'll hear
People are
that.
scared.
People, yeah.
People are scared. They
Right.
get scared. They're like,
I'm glad
we're
you
in the
mentioned
desert.
that.
We're in the desert. Why are you
It
selling?
can't be fresh.
Right. Why are you right?
Where are
know?
you getting those oysters? No, I'm glad you brought that up. It is important because people think that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say that
Misnomer.
in every location that I've seen how they process seafood, and it's in order. It's the right way. And,
Attention to detail.
Yeah, attention to detail, basically, and then just adding the ingredients to it, so
Yeah.
making sure that that tastes good. I mean, are we perfect? No. I mean, there's every once in a while we'll get some. Hey, it doesn't taste too good. Okay, we'll change it. So
Since we're talking about food and the food portion of it and everything, what about each cook? I know that like my brother and I both grill, like to grill out and everything, but if you taste his chicken versus my chicken, a little bit different, even though we use a lot of the same recipes and stuff, or the same rubs or whatever. Is that the same with the kitchens here that you have? Is there a little bit different taste to if I experimented and stopped by a Taco Hero in Tucson, would it be different?
the only difference that you'll see is how much seasoning they'll put on there when they're putting it on the grill, because we obviously use a seasoning to add on the chicken. So
Right.
the breast chicken, as you will. But other than that, it's pretty much the same.
It's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, like the fajitas.
Yeah.
They're all the same, but I've always, every once in a while, go to a restaurant and say, something's different about the taste of it. Well, when I go back there, some will put more of our teriyaki sauce. Some won't,
Less,
and then less. So it just depends who is cooking back there. But yes, there are a couple things that could change.
Now I know.
I wondered because I haven't really noticed a huge difference between mine. Who knows? I could be consistently getting from the same cooks, but just was curious about that. If you might taste it different at
regular
another
customers
place.
know if there's a new chef back there.
Oh yeah,
I'm serious.
Well, of course,
and they're
yeah.
smart. Just like our margaritas. We have one of the best margaritas. I mean, I think personally, I just love our margaritas, right?
I don't know why everyone's looking at me all of a sudden, but I agree.
So, when our margarita mix, we exclusively get it from a company out of Tucson that has been our provider since day one. When we change, we're out of and I've seen this, where we're out of our margarita mix, we go out and buy this Juanita's, whatever.
Some regular.
And I'm not kidding you. We put it in the mix because we mix mix it
know.
in, and they'll say, "Hey, did you guys change?"
Man.
I'm like, "How do you know?" Well, it just tastes too sweet.
Oh, that's the thing.
Yeah. So they know.
See,
That's the thing.
consistency.
Consistency.
That's
is
true.
huge, yeah.
That's a good point. I mean, you said that, and I started thinking to myself, and I was like, yeah, that's really true. I would want a consistent meal, too.
You go there because you like it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know it's going to be hot. You know it's going to be fresh. You know what it's going to taste
Yeah.
like. And if it changes, nobody wants that.
Well, and I'll be honest. So here's one of those turnoffs for me is just some of the meat and everything. You know, you'll go to some restaurants, especially like chicken and beef, you know, it might be something that has a lot of fat in there and they just chop it up anyway. And you're chewing on some piece of gristle inside your burrito. A huge turnoff. I've never had that experience in your restaurant, which is kind of unusual a little bit.
Right. Well, you know, and I see the guys in every location, how they really, it's attention to detail. You know, they cook a bunch of meat, you know, they're cutting and they're cutting and they're cutting and they separate, you know, obviously to your point, that's kind of, you know, the bad stuff.
Some people love a little bit of fat, but I mean, you don't want too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Or gristle or, you know,
I feel like we've had this fat conversation before.
I know we have because I've got kind of a little bit of a phobia, a fat phobia.
We are
thing.
not the fat people.
No,
we are no gristle, no fat.
Yeah.
Boom. I already know.
I'm a big hunter, and man, my stuff is like, my beef is very
you got
lean.
80% lean.
Yeah, very, very lean.
very good.
Yeah, it's super, super lean.
Super important for us not to have fat.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
And
you know,
that consistent. Ugh.
And what's also important, obviously, is our distribution. You know, who's distributing our meats, and we have a great company.
Well, but with everybody chopping and cutting, like you said, all these different people in all these different locations, I would have to say it still goes to the leader, because if you're back there chopping and you don't care, guess what? You're throwing that gristle in. Right?
Well, I'm a systems guy too, so I love the fact that you have a streamlined process, a system, checklists, things like that, to where you can repeat the same great quality each time. Because again, it's consistency.
Right.
You know, like you're saying, you're right.
You like
you're 100%.
Not having the gristle.
Yeah.
I like having, you know, my beverage, my Dr. Pepper.
And you know, to your point, if there's no processes, you know, right processes that are being followed, I mean, you're going to be all over the board, you know, personally.
So, Cesar, it's been great having you today, and I'm going to give you the last word. If there was one thing you want us to know about Taco Giro, you want the community to know, what would it be?
Well, I would probably say, what would it be? It would be that we have been very loyal to our customers since we've been here at this location, and even our other locations.
Sure.
One of the things that we have committed ourselves is to the customers, and that's important. The community understands that we are making those changes and striving to become better, obviously, because we know there's tons of competitions. And to be to what we've discussed today is consistency. That's one of the biggest things. If we can believe every day consistent to that customer, then we're doing well. And that's important for us to let the community know that it's important to us as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
We're all, you know, like say this one tight community, and to have somebody, you know, saying, hey, we're important to you. Right. That's what makes longevity. In fact, I had somebody from another restaurant saying the same thing, you know, that a small community like this, it's everything. Sure. It can be the difference between you making money and not surviving.
Right.
And would you prefer, you know, I always say this too, when I go out to eat, if anywhere, if there's a concern or an issue, do you want to know about it?
Sure, I always do. That's part of the. That's part of the.
Right. That's why I say to people, if you have an issue, go to the manager. You know, not just with Taco Giro, anywhere. You know, let's not blast these people. Let's
blast them on Facebook or whatever.
Let's not do that. Let's talk to them. Give them a chance. Give them an opportunity. And I think you'll find that. That's what most people appreciate.
And you know what? I get a lot of praises to come to me and say, you know, I'm not here to complain. Mm-hmm. I just want to let you know your staff is great.
That's nice too.
I get a lot of that from this, at every location. So again, at the end of the day, consistency.
That's a report card, right?
It is a report card.
Also give the good.
Right. Yeah. You know. So.
Well, thanks, you guys. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Everyone out there, I hope you've enjoyed listening to the story behind Taco Giro and even the name itself. the rooster tail.
Yes,
That's kind of interesting. I never knew that.
Me neither.
Very good. Very good. Well, thanks again, Cesar.
Thank
All right,
you,
appreciate you
Cesar.
so much for having me.
All right,
Appreciate it.
everybody. This is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. And we'll be right back with a few last messages.
That brings us to the end of another Keepin' It Real radio show, and we just want to say a big thank you for letting us be a small part of your weekend. Whether you're a longtime listener or just caught us for the first time today, we're so glad you're here. Got something you'd love us to talk about? Maybe a local story, a cool event, maybe a guest idea. Maybe you're related to or know someone who has an interesting story, profession, or past. We would love to hear from you. So drop it in our Keepin' It Real suggestion box at Long Realty. We're located just behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. Or if it's easier, you can email me directly at sherry@sherryetthelteam.com or call me or text me at 717-599-2439. This is your show, and it's all about our community, our connections, and the what's up of Cochise County, and as always, keeping things real. And your voice will help shape what we do next. We'll see you next Saturday from 7 to 8 a.m. right here on 104.1 Cool FM, making radio cool again.
Stay safe and stay cool, Cochise County, and keep it real.
What's in a name? Everything. Long Realty has been a cornerstone of Southern Arizona's real estate market for nearly 100 years. Our name is our bond, and our agents are our strength. Trust in the name that stands for experience and expertise. Visit longrealty.com or call 520-459-4993 to connect with an agent today. Long Realty. Smart move.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Keepin' It Real radio show. Join us next Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. for more engaging interviews with top realtors and industry leaders, keeping you informed about the latest trends in real estate. Stay connected with us as we bring you updates on the dynamic events shaping our vibrant community. From exciting local happenings to noteworthy charities and causes, we've got you covered. See you next week for another edition of Keepin' It Real.